Hello, everyone. It's Michael Jaco with Unleashing Intuition Secrets. And man, that Jabberdewy thingy, that is quite a thing. And there's a lot of people that are trying to push that Jabberdewy, and it's not working out so good. So take, for instance, that one African president that, the one that came out with the tests, the COVID tests, because it's so amped up so high that even a fruit, or I think he even tested, I don't know, some animal, and he gave them names, and then they sent that in, and it came back positive for COVID. So that guy ended up dying. And then he was like, no, I'm not going to do that Jabberdewy stuff. And now that he's been replaced with someone else, now the Jabberdewies are happening in Africa, in that country. So what recently just happened? Who else just died recently that was against the Jabberdewies? Why? That would be the Haitian president. Yes, he didn't like them, wasn't going to push them. And in fact, hardly anybody was having problems with the thing that you would need to do the Jabberdewy thingy with, right? So when you have people that really aren't affected, why would you even push that? So I'm going to talk about this in a minute, and it's like an article where Haiti, with poor healthcare and impoverishment like crazy, because all the money that was sent for the Haitians during that earthquake basically was stolen by the Bushes and the Clintons. And then, of course, Clinton's brother started a gold mine in Haiti. How about that? And they caught the Clinton organization ferrying out children from Haiti. The woman that exposed it, got added to the Clinton body count. So poor woman. Thank you for exposing that. And I'm sorry that you had to die for that. But there's a lot of people that have died, guys, trying to expose these DSers, right? So it seemed to be a lot of governors. I've been hearing a lot of governors have kind of disappeared. Wonder where they went. Because Monkey Works is reporting there's tons of flights going down to that little spa down there by Cuba. Yeah. And in Cuba, the Cubans seem to be getting ready to do away with their government again. It's like they did 60 years ago. And then, even further back in time than that, and we'll talk about all that as well. So let's discuss. There's also Britney Spears. We're going to talk about, and you're like, Britney Spears? Yeah, she's part of, the deep state puppetry, and they're trying to puppet her. And we're going to talk about that because it doesn't only affect, people that I want to do the Jabberdewy, but also some of these stars that have been, manipulated by the deep state for a long time, have been making a lot of money off them. When they can't control them anymore, they join that 27 club. You know what that is? Basically, they die at 27, 9, 2 and 7 is a 9. 9 is basically a completion number. So we're complete with you, and you go bye-bye. A lot of 27 people, Janis Joplin, God, I can't think of all the names, but I know there's a lot of them. My son is going to talk about one of them in particular. He has a connection with that lifetime. And he's going to talk about one of those guys that was basically eliminated. And his wife took over the business and now is a billionaire. So you might know who that is. But anyway, we're going to talk deeply about that. So what else did my son shared very interesting 40 days, basically leaving, hanging out with me a couple weeks. Now I'm heading back to Lake Tahoe. Let me share the screen. Share that screen, baby. There you go. And now we're sharing the screen. And this is what he messaged me. He says, this guy I'm sitting next to, he's getting ready, he's in the airport. He's in the Army. My son's like me, you chat anybody up. He's talking about how since Biden has come in, he's gotten rid of enlistment bonuses, and it's downsizing the military by a lot. Now, enlistment bonuses have been around since the 1980s. I remember when they came in because I was a beneficiary of a couple of those enlistment bonuses. And it has definitely kept a lot of good people in the military, because the military does not pay well. And I don't know if you have not noticed that. Trump helped a lot, Reagan helped a lot, but in between there, Bush has helped a little bit, but they're deep state. They were all deep staters. But the Democrats love to stick it to the military, and they don't like the military. They always downsize the military. And then, we have a Republican come in and builds them back up. And then the Democrats come back in, tear them down. So it's a little crazy little cycle that goes on. So he goes on, he says, because it's a shift in administration. So enlistment bonuses, downsizing the military by like, just like, we're getting taxed by the gas that is pretty much doubled now under this crazy administration. So I know a lot of you are probably thinking to yourself, how can this administration be allowed to continue? Which, we know T has always been in charge in the background. Why would they allow this fake administration to be, in our face? Well, kind of, they've been there for a very long time. Even when Trump was there in the forefront, that they were always trying to tear him down. They were always doing whatever they could to, eliminate him, literally and figuratively. And, they were very, very prominent. Remember when the State of the Union and Nancy Pelosi tore up his speech, tore it up in front of the cameras? Wow. Unbelievable, right? Where's Nancy? Nancy. Oh, you're gone to spa too, aren't you? So there's a lot of people that have been trying over the 4 years that he was there to basically tear down the administration. So they've been there, guys. They've always been pretty much in the forefront. Well, Trump was taking down all their money-making schemes, and they had to do something drastic. So that's what we're seeing. We're seeing just how drastic they'll move, just how drastic they have been moving. They try to instill this Marxist, control over all humanity. This Marxist control basically is what Cuba is under, Marxist communism, very, very heavy-handed. And we're going to talk about that a little bit. And it's not too far off from, the way the Spanish were. Spanish, remember them? So Spanish were kicked out of Cuba and just got replaced with some more baddies. And then they were kicked out. They were replaced by baddies who were even the worst of the worst, right? So a lot of times these people come in promising good things, just like we've seen in South Africa. They did away with Whitey because Whitey, they said, was bad, but, Whitey's corrupt. People of all color were corrupt and are corruptible. It doesn't matter the skin color. It matters what's inside, right? Remember that. That's a good one, right? It doesn't matter if you're good or bad. It matters what you do from the inside. It doesn't matter if you're good or bad, but it doesn't matter what color your skin is. All right, so he goes on, my son goes on and says, because people's terms are up and they don't F with Biden, there is no incentive to keep going for some people. People that have Trump flags in the army are being labeled as extremists. And somebody had a Trump tattoo and actually got dishonorably discharged for that tattoo. The Biden administration is effing up a lot of shit, and it's far reaching. So insights from my, my young man of a son, speaking with another young man in the military, and they're basically telling it like it is, guys. It's not good. So these guys are, we hear that Biden's in charge. No, he's not in charge. They just let him play like he is, because whoever that is that's playing that role of Biden, it doesn't matter, because eventually he goes away, probably gets a spa treatment as well, even though he's probably working for the White Hats. I think he is. So we'll see. He probably got a deal. Trump releases letter from ex-U.S. attorney alleging Barr pressured him not to probe voter fraud claims. So Barr, as I said long ago, and this was told to me by someone with the number 7 in his name. And he said the Barr was a bad man and that he had helped the Bushes back when the Clintons were running drugs through Mena Airport in Arizona. So I guess the guy that was running the drugs, they thought he was stealing from them. So Barr got involved, and eventually that guy got exterminated, right? He was suicided. He did commit suicide. He was suicided, right? So if by chance, some of these people that push against them, and they seem to have a little bit of power again, but it's all show. They're trying to flex their muscles, but I think they're getting shut down. Just like we're seeing, I think, a disappearance of a lot of governors that are baddies. So baddies are going by all over the place. And, maybe somebody, does a post for them. Maybe somebody comes out, makes an appearance for them with their mask on, or it's a clone or whatever it is. It's a lot of those people are gone. All right. That's the word I'm getting. And a lot of people are starting to put that out there. So like all those flights are going down to get spa, get your spa treatment. Then they're going to, testify. And that those trials, I think a lot of those trials are going to be exposed here at some point, maybe soon. We'll see. Former president said in a statement released in the letter, U.S. attorney from the Eastern District of Pennsylvania was precluded from investigating election problems, and it's outrageous. McSwain expressed in his letter to Trump his discontent with the instructions he said he received from Barr following the November 2020 presidential election. President Trump, you were right to be upset about the way the Dem rats ran the 2020 election in Pennsylvania, McSwain wrote. On election day and afterwards, our office received various, probably many various, I'll put that in there, allegations of voter problems and election problems. As part of my responsibility as U.S. attorney, I wanted to be transparent with the public and, of course, investigate fully any allegations. Attorney General Barr, however, instructed me not to make any public statements or put any press releases regarding possible election irregularities, former state attorney wrote. I was also given a directive to pass along serious allegations to the state attorney general for investigation, the same attorney general who had already declared that you, President Trump, could not win. So the criminals are in charge. So you can't expect the criminals to do the right thing, guys. Right? Even though they're in a position where they're supposed to, doesn't mean they're going to. So get that out of your head, that just because someone is in a position of power means they're going to be good. Because I think most of you that listen to me are well aware of that, but there's still people that are brainwashed into believing that someone that's of a higher authority than them, which is someone they elected to have that ability to have higher authority, is not good. So he goes on to say, as a Marine infantry officer, I was trained to follow the chain of command and to respect the orders of my superiors, even when I disagree with them, he wrote. Now, this is the beauty of having been in the special forces. And I speak for my other compadres in the Army, the Air Force, and the Marines, special forces people. We are free thinkers. And we have to have that free thinking to accomplish our missions, because if we followed orders specifically, we would always lose, because nothing happens in the special forces arena that goes as planned, ever. I've never seen one. Never, ever have I seen a mission go off as planned, ever. And it's because of our free thinking ability that we're able to pull it off. So if you come down hard on free thinkers, they go away, right? So that seems to be what they're trying to do in the military. Get rid of anyone that could be a problem for them. So I think that's going to be more of a problem for them coming up. So here's from my Singaporean friend, Kirsten W, from True Kirsten W. She's releasing some information. So I put this out many months ago, well before the actual election day in November. I said that I saw Attorney General Justice Roberts, Supreme Court Justice Roberts was going to go bye-bye sometime in the late spring, very early summer. All right. And we haven't been hearing from him in a while, just like we haven't been hearing from a lot of governors in a while, just like we haven't been hearing from a lot of movie stars for a while, or, you know, people that sing, or politicians. So it's very interesting because those spa treatments, they're very luxurious and people never want to leave once they get there. So let's see what Kirsten has to say.
Is turning right. Supreme Court is turning right. Yes, so there we go. A lot of stuff is going on. And yeah. So that's why Justice Roberts is not blocking anything anymore, because he might be gone. And
oh, I love that the little Singaporean, she can speak many languages, and now she speaks Southern. He might be gone. So good for her. All right. So we're all trying to, expose these criminals as much as we can, and as we expose them, because we're, of course, being restricted in a lot of ways. That's why I keep talking around things like the Jabberduki, Duber, whatever. Mounting evidence shows Haitian President Moise was assassinated before blowing whistle on Jabberduis, right? It's a type of conspiracy theory we normally avoid, but the evidence continues to mount, and somebody needs to be paying attention. That's why we bring this stuff up, right? Because somebody needs to pay attention. Of course, they're going to suppress this. You can't find this. It's hard to find this stuff, but I have a way. My intuition leads me to it. It's amazing. There is growing speculation that Haiti's President Jovenel Moise was assassinated before he could blow the whistle on those Jabberdoos. All right. Before we get into that speculation, start with the facts. Haiti is the only nation in the Western Hemisphere that does not, I love to say that word like that, not have COVID-19 injections, because availability of those is they didn't want them because there's no availability there. Considering their extreme poverty, cramped conditions, horrible healthcare infrastructure, and a population that is extremely hesitant for those Jabberdoos, one might think the nation would be a cesspool of COVID problems. It's not. Imagine that. Just like here in Florida, we just said, no more, mask off. Yeah, and just like the problems just went away, Although somebody is trying to bring it back. That's why we expose stuff, and we're going to expose it. I'm going to show you who it is, what they're saying, and why they have tried this in the past, and it was exposed. All right, let's put this into perspective about Haiti compared to New Jersey, which had or has, I don't know, a governor that's very bad. They have a similar population density, with Haiti having 11.5 million people across 10,714 square miles, and New Jersey having 9.2 million people across 8,721 miles. Love the Garden State, and it is a Garden State. So many people that have been in New Jersey in the northern part were like, not a Garden State. But if you go to the southern half of New Jersey, it is definitely an absolutely beautiful Garden State. So I used to live down there. I know it's great. I used to live in the wilderness down there. Haiti, yes, there's a little wilderness area down there, the Pine Barrens. Haiti has had 19,295 COVID cases. New Jersey has had 1,026,286. Why such a disparity in numbers? Some of this can be attributed to Haiti's poor medical infrastructure, reducing the amount of tests for that thingy. But lack of tests cannot account for dramatically lowered deaths. They've had 482 compared to New Jersey's 26,509. And we know that those numbers are manipulated. And the actual CDC has admitted that they were manipulated. So I don't know why they keep putting these numbers out there, but they are what they are. And I guess we're going to play this game until it's completely exposed. Let's break down those numbers. Despite similar population density, higher total population, and worse healthcare available, Haiti has had 1.8%. I said 1.5 when I did my Instagram post earlier, but 1.8% of the COVID cases that New Jersey has had. Put another way, the citizens of New Jersey with a high jeopardy rate are 53 times more likely to contract COVID than Haitians who do not have access to a jabberdew. Moise knew this. It is one of the reasons he rejected free jabberdews in May and June. But you won't hear about that, not anymore. Why? The official storyline about Haiti's vaccine hesitancy has suddenly changed. How about that? Following Moise's assassination. Now the health officials in the country are claiming they didn't reject all of the jabberdews, just the AstraZeneca. So I guess they want the Americans. So we have discovered from the DEA, Department of, whatever we're going to call those guys, that, the Drug Enforcement Agency. Is that what you guys are, DEA? Shame on you guys. So they had one of the guys that supposedly came in here, because they admitted it, that came in here and did this assassination, was one of their informants. How about that? So he was one of their, let's stop share. I got to really put this out. So he was one of their informants for the DEA. Now, I remember this when I worked for the Central Agency, and they did this kind of stuff a lot. So we had informants all over the place, highly paid, given all kinds of stuff, all kind of benefits, flown around and given passports and all kind of crazy stuff. So it was quite amazing what these people that told on other people got. So I guess the informants, the DA basically volunteered this information to Senate committee, and that they basically said that the people that were involved should give themselves up. So when you do a deal with the devil, so imagine what happened. Those people were wrapped up. How about that? You do a deal with the devil. Devil turns his back on you all the time. You're just cannon fodder to the devil. All right. So I guess more is going to be exposed as we move on this. I said it was kind of funky. I don't know if he's been removed, assassinated, but I don't know. They keep saying he is. So maybe he is. I don't know. It's kind of like, some of these other people, the Fantasy Island guy, supposedly, suicided himself. And I said that he wasn't. So there's lots of stuff out there where people supposedly have gone bye-bye, but I think they didn't go bye-bye. I think they were basically taken, and information gotten from them. So we'll see, going forward, what happens with this guy. So imagine that he comes forward and says, I'm not really gone. Kind of like John F. Kennedy Jr. at some point. I'm not really gone. Haven't been. We're working behind the scenes, making sure we took down the deep state. And I think that's going to happen. I think a lot of that stuff is going to be exposed here, sooner than later, but at some point, sooner than later. Orange County. So here in Florida, Orange County Mayor Demings says it's time to put that face mask back on again as new cases continue to rise. New cases continue to rise. How about that? And of course we can trust the Democrats, right? So Demings is a Democrat. That's funny. That's funny to me. It's very funny to me. So he's considering, he's saying that all residents that are jabberdude and unjabberdude should consider wearing facial coverings indoors when in crowded environments. We can't let these guys do this, guys. We cannot let these guys do this. They're going to push on this, and they're going to try their little game just like they did last time. Now, this is almost a year ago to the day. Orange County health officials' error led to false coronavirus testing numbers, report says. Oof. Did we forget about that? I didn't. I didn't forget about it. I've been following this stuff. And hello there, liar, pants on fire. Bad man. All right. So here, an error by Orange County. Now, not to be confused with Orange County, California, which is actually conservative. Here, Orange County in Florida has a bad man that's in charge. Health officials led to some false coronavirus testing numbers. Orange County Register reported on Wednesday. So remember, this is a year ago, July 2nd. The mistake involved the use of antibody testing data together with diagnostic testing, erroneously adding about 30,000 more tests to the announced total number administered, according to the newspaper. This led to an inflated statistic for more than a month in Orange County. How about that? The error was caught and later fixed, but it did give the appearance that testing was greater and the pandemic less intense in the county than it actually was at the time. Orange County announces planned disclosure of county-operated beaches throughout 4th of July. Planned closure of all county-operated beaches throughout 4th of July weekend. So I remember that. I remember talking about this. And I said that that's a bunch of BS. And I said that Democrat, that evil little Democrat, is going to cause some problems here. All right, so he's back in action. Floridians. This bad man needs to go bye-bye in a big way, and absolutely right now. Mark Levine defines American Marxism and explains how to stop it. So, of course, if we try and vote that guy out, they manipulate the votes, he'll probably stay in, but maybe he needs to be held up on charges for something. Maybe we can find some dirt on him. I'm sure we can find some dirt. He's a Democrat. He's dirty as hell. Mark Levine's American Marxism provides a thorough education in the intellectual foundations of the American left and how it emerged from the dim fringes of academia to become the driving ideology of Prez, Faker, Biden. He's not there. One of the most important things Levine does at the outset is invert the left's concept of history. Levine starts his book with a sentence: the counter-revolution to the American Revolution is in full force. Marxism is that counter-revolution. So Marxism never worked, never ever. And what do Marxists do? What happened during the lockdown? They had power. They had control. Trust us. We will serve you. We will be looking out for your best interest. Trust us. So we trusted them, and look what happened. Do we trust them again? You better believe we're not. So, and in fact, we're going to get rid of them, all of them, every single one of them. I've said this for some years now, that the Dem Party is going bye-bye. They will go bye-bye. All of this stuff is being exposed, and it had to be exposed like this. All right, so Marxist in Cuba. So Marxists in Cuba, rigid control. Now, who has been supporting this Marxist agenda? So we know that Hollywood is basically part of the deep state's puppeteering to enforce their global domination of the world. So they have been doing a lot of this stuff for a while. So some of these people might be a little surprising to you, but most of them are like, oh yeah, of course. Like Jay-Z and Beyonce, right? So supporters of the Cuban regime, Rihanna, Katy Perry, sitting there with a cigar, that's a big old cigar. All right. A Cuban, big Cuban cigar. Steven Spielberg, of course, Mick Jagger, and Ludacris and Usher, Conan O'Brien, and of course Sean Penn. No, Kevin Costner was kind of surprising to me. I don't know how many of you guys knew about that, but I did see a comment in here where he said that President Trump is a criminal who spits on 200 years of freedom. Oh, Kevin. I used to like you, not anymore. Robert Redford, film director. Yeah, he's not good. Danny Glover, that's sad and surprising, but you know, you're gonna. It says the last line of defense for white supremacy. Who last year declared that police in America represent the last line of defense for white supremacy. Spent years visiting Castro in Cuba, where the brutal communist regime reigns. Harry Belafonte. Wow, that's surprising. Oliver Stone. That's kind of surprising too, but you know, it is what it is. He proclaimed that the U.S. is an evil empire last year. So I guess that was when Trump was still there, I guess. So very sad, very sad. But it is what it is. So a lot of this stuff is going to be exposed. A lot of these people are going to be exposed. The people, like I said, I even said I was surprised with a couple of those people, but maybe some of you guys not so much. That's good. Good, you've done your homework. You've been watching this stuff. Almost everyone else in there was like, yeah, total Marxist communist. What is happening in Cuba? Protests grow against the communist regime. Street demonstrations come as the country's economic crisis and the pandemic lead to deteriorating living conditions and shortages. Cuban citizens have taken to the streets across the country for the first time in more than 6 decades to protest against deteriorating living conditions and the lack of basic goods and services. Remember the Bay of Pigs? Yeah, didn't go too well. The protests with thousands of people calling for an end to the 62-year-old communist regime began Sunday in the western city of San Antonio de los Baños, later spreading to more than 40 cities and towns, including the capital, Havana. Right. So it's on. But how long? How long before they get brutally suppressed like happened in Iran? Demonstrations erupt across Florida in support of Cuban people, call for end of communist regime. Demonstrators called for U.S. intervention in Cuba. The longer we wait, the more people will die. Sounds familiar. Sounds familiar to me because I've done this in a past lifetime. So I'm going to talk about that in a minute. But before I do that, we had Ted Cruz. I heard Ted Cruz talk today about this, and you know, Ted Cruz. You know, I was like, yeah, little Marco, like Trump called you. You know, there were some problems there, but you have done some good things. And the way you spoke for Cubans today in the Senate was, you know, touched my heart. I think you did a good job. So if you get a chance, check out his speech. Actually, I thought it was quite impressive. So I'm not going to call you little Marco anymore. Not anymore. So in Jacksonville, Florida, demonstrator Eduardo Ramos told local news station that the Cuban people don't have any voice under Diaz-Canel's regime. We don't have access to hospitals, food, medicine, anything. So Ted Cruz talks about this, how like if you give money if you have family in Cuba and you give money to them, they take 10% of that and then they convert it to whatever their fiat currency is in Cuba, which is basically worthless. And if someone gives them gives drugs and other essential stuff. It first goes to the top people in the regime, the elite of the communists, because there's always communist elite, guys. It's basically one system is changed for another. So our people that are supposedly elite, they want complete control. They don't want any contest. That's why they're trying to push this Marxist communism on us here in America. So think about who those elite are, or who those elite were in many cases. So when these goods come in, they go to the elite, and then they filter down to the people who listen to the elite. And then those that are demonstrating like this are their artists. This all started by artists. Yeah, artists started this demonstration because they don't see how there's any hope for them. And so everything is basically stolen by the regime and then divvied out to the top people. And then, pretty much nothing for the people that want their freedoms and stuff like that. So it's not coming. There is no, really any independent businesses and so forth in Cuba. So the Cuban regime's military police are shooting at unarmed Cuban protesters fighting for freedom. Suarez tweeted Sunday, 60 years of communism, cruelty, and oppression cannot last any longer. We are imploring the USA to take action as we peacefully demonstrate on the streets of Miami. So this happened back during Obama's time in Iran. The Iranian people were demonstrating. They thought that, Obama and Biden would come to their rescue, help them out. No. They're on board with the deep state, Middle Eastern groups, and the deep state down here, like Venezuela. I guess Biden just took off restrictions on Venezuela so they could funnel goods, probably weapons and so forth, to Cuba, because we had been restricting that under Trump. Now under Biden, he just took away those restrictions, right? So it's not going to be good for those people, and they're not going to get any relief from the deep state Biden group. It's not going to happen, guys. So it's very tragic. I mean, we can talk about it. There's going to be some problems down there. It's going to continue. I guess they're tired of the BS, and they're really pushing back, like a lot of us should be doing, right? Cuba shuts down internet to silence citizens, hide ongoing protest. So that would get a lot of support here in the US, but it's just going to be completely shut down. We're not going to know about any of this. So has this happened in other times where everything's get shut down? A regime that's in charge, that's in control, is brutally suppressing its people, like happened under the Spanish. And then as William Randolph Hearst, I came down to spread the news. All right. So William Randolph Hearst went up against the deep state guys, and they went after him hard. Right. They tried to destroy him, just like they tried to destroy my other soul brother, President Trump. Right. Yes, he's my soul brother. And we have had many lifetimes together, and we worked together many lifetimes. So as William Randolph Hearst, just like I'm doing right now, I'm bringing attention to a very serious problem, not only here in the US, but also in Cuba, right? And other places in the world. So once one of these dominoes happens on a big scale, like is about to happen here in the US, then it's going to happen in other areas of the world. I think people are sensing it. They're feeling it. Don't you feel it? Don't you feel it right now? Don't you feel it's about ready to snap? Oh, it's getting ready to snap, I think. So Hearst created several sparks to U.S. intervention. Most well-known involved the imprisonment and release of Cuban prisoner Evangeline Cisneros. Now, that was quite an escape that happened, and I guess he paid for that, and she came up into the U.S. and they publicized the crap out of that, and And then everybody's like, let's go kick some butt. And that's what we did. Now he chartered, Hearst chartered the yacht Sylvia to Cuba to witness battles between the U.S. Navy and the Spanish fleet, which he reported on. And from his ship, Hearst continued to publish sensationalist stories in a Cuban edition, personally making sure that the U.S. public stayed informed, just like I'm helping you stay informed now. So it's just coming through again, right? When you tap into this past life information, then the abilities, the things that you mastered in other lifetimes starts to come through. It's pretty cool. So you can do this too. Speaking of which, if you go to unleashingintuition.com, there's all the courses that I have. I recommend the Unleashing Intuition Secrets, become the master of your reality. Tap into all this stuff. Now, if you do the intuitive physique, build it, and they will look. I've been sneaking in to people that have gotten that. I don't know if you guys have been catching it, but you should be. I put in where you have that, that fast diet. Where is that? Here it is. Unleashing Intuition Secrets, super fast and lean 21-day challenge. So if you do the master level or the intuitive physique, the bundle, then I've been throwing that in for the last, I think, a couple months now, quietly. But now I will do it openly. So if you do the intuitive physique, build it, and they will look bundle course. You get all the stuff, how I develop my physique, like you see it here, where I won contest. You get all that information, and then you get the information of how the super fast lean, right? So that gets you get that as well. So I've been adding that to the people that do the bundle course. So if you had your eye on the Unleashing Intuition Secret Super Fast Lean, because lots of people have been jumping in that course, you guys must be talking. You must be talking. It must be a good one for you guys. So it's been going. It's been hot like hotcakes. But of course, you're not going to eat hotcakes. You know, once you that body right there, that lean body right there, you see, hotcakes weren't part of it for a long time. So you learn all about that stuff, and you know how to restrict your carbs and your fat, and up your protein intake, and increase your carb burn rate, and all that stuff. So I'll talk about that in that. I give you a day by day breakdown how my body was, and I had the scale, and you see in the scale, you know, how I leaned down, and the fat percentage went down. So all that stuff I reveal in that course. That's a good one. And then even if you're not into becoming a bodybuilder, it doesn't matter, because I have people that have MS that never really worked out hard, you know, got this because they got the ultimate course bundle, and they did, I'm going to do that too. And I mean, they had problems with their bodies, and they started doing my exercise, eating the way I did, going through the meditations the way I teach them, healing themselves, and unbelievably. So I don't want to like say too much here, because, you know, Google is basically run by the health industry, and a lot of other places are politics and everything. So you can't talk too much, you can't blow yourself up too much, but because it's not a wellness industry, it's a sickness industry, right? So I'm teaching you wellness. And so anyway, it's great information, all the stuff that I have, and I've had some amazing results. When you get into these courses, lots of people have been talking in the, so each course has where you can make comments. So the comments have been like spectacular. It's been really good. So I put some of the comments in the, when you go and click on, let's say, for instance, you go, you want to look at the information. So I got a little video there for pretty much all these courses. There's a course overview, introduction meditation. So there are freebies in here, and in all in almost all of them, not all of them, but most of them. The books, I read the first chapter for free. So you see, there's a lot of information here, 10 different lectures, nearly 22 hours worth of valuable and deeply informative information. So in here, there's, as you see, student reviews. So lots of them. I mean, this is just a portion, It says very good lectures, and to the point. This is the most recent one. The content is so well structured that help us fully understand and feel the confidence to practice successfully, I am very happy to come across your courses, Ileana. All right. And when I began this journey, I was not sure what to expect. I am impressed with the wealth and depth of knowledge Michael has put into these lectures. Very thankful to have found these courses. And that's from Jerome. And he was talking about lecture 3, the quantum world, and how we can harness it. So there's lots of good information in there. So unleashingintuition.com. It's very rewarding. And one of the reasons I think that I'm still alive is to bring this information forward. So it's pretty cool. So anyway, the news. Let's go to Britney. Get something a little bit more exciting, right? Britney Spears, Let's Loose, and dance video, and tiny red top. Now, the interesting thing about this is that Britney is going into a conservatorship hearing. You probably heard about this. If not, I'm letting you know now. So it's she let loose on Instagram on Monday, just 2 days before her conservatorship case is due to be discussed in court. So that's tomorrow. 39-year-old. She looks great for 39. Looks a lot younger than that. Good for her. Probably does a diet very similar to mine, and has put, because a lot of people that are lean like that do my diet. The 39-year-old pop singer put her dance moves on display in a short video posted to her social media account, which boasts 31.4 million followers. I am just a mere mortal compared to her, with very, very low numbers of viewers. Spears showed off her tummy while wearing a bright red bralette and green patterned shorts as she twirled around a large foyer in her home. Billie Eilish's Bad Guy played in the background, and Spears has been mouthing the words. What's seen mouthing the words? She captioned the post red. All right. So why would somebody do something like this a couple of days before a hearing? Why? Probably because she didn't. Yeah, I don't think she did. And maybe she did. I don't know. But she has tattoos. All right. Has tattoos. Let's look at some of those tattoos. All right. And not that that means anything, I'm not a fan of tattoos, but they are what they are. So here she is. All right. So right here at the waistline, check out these tattoos. All right. I think that's a cross. I'm not sure what the other one is. All right. So she was kind of like feeling not so good about herself because she ate some peanuts. Right. And I know I used to do that too. Now, to reward myself, I would eat like 2 peanuts when I'm leaning down. It was like, so she ate some peanuts. She's probably leaning down because she says she has a hot boyfriend. She does. She's got a very handsome guy. So maybe that helps keep her young. Looks like a young guy. And, when you're rich and beautiful, you can have what you want, right, guys? Guys and girls. In the past 2 weeks, I've said that I have to get in shape, considering my boyfriend's body is hotter than hot. I was like, shit, where the hell am I supposed to start? You start with my diet. I'm sure she's got a personal trainer that gets her down. So I run a lot and try to eat half of it clean and be mindful with my food unless I cheat. So she cheated with some peanuts. That girl. And so that still looks great. All right. Now I want you to look at her physique. Let's look at this physique again. So this plays into the other stuff that supposedly she has put out in the last couple of days. All right. Okay. So you see her physique. All right. Not to smash it or anything, but there's a little bit of flab in there. Okay. Still looks amazing. Absolutely amazing. 39 years old. Had a couple kids. You can lean down at any age. I don't care if you've been overweight all your life. You can lean down. You do it my method. I have a couple different methods where I lean down 50 pounds over 10 months. So it was like, a pound and a quarter every week. Very easy, very easy to do when you use my techniques. All right, so here she is, got a little bit. So this is I think this is like 2 weeks ago from today, right? So a little bit of flex, and you can lean down pretty quick in 2 weeks, as you guys will see if you do my 21-dayer. All right, you can lean down quite nicely, and I mean lean. You don't lose your muscle, you lose the fat. All right, so let's put this aside and let's go look at some other stuff. All right, well, I'm not going to delete this, so we might come back to that. So the investigators, the intuitives are at work here. All right, Britney Spears, red lingerie heats up Instagram days after nude snap. All right, so here she is. All right, similar physique. Okay, so we can't see the tattoos if they're there or not. All right, but we can here, and we're going to point this out. So look how lean she looks in this snap that supposedly happened on Monday. Britney Spears bears all post nude bathroom selfie. All right, now look at her waistline here. See, this is pretty low, so no tattoos. So supposedly she has a neck tattoo. Supposedly I'm not a Britney follower, so I don't know. But supposedly she has a neck tattoo. So there is not one there, is there? And see that little mole? Or let me see if I can zoom it in. See that mole? I've watched her spinning around, dancing. I've not seen that mole. Interesting, right? These deep state people, man, they want to keep their control, and they'll do what they need to do to keep it. All right. So that's very lean for 2 weeks. Right. That's very, very lean. I don't think that's her body. Right. I mean, right up front. I don't think that's her body. All right. From my professional looking at people, and that's not completely impossible. It could be. I'm not going to say definitively that it's not, but from where I'm looking at her here, over here, let me click on it so I can blow it up again. All right. So as I look at her here, see, she's got a little fatty on there, but that other model, hardly any fat. That usually takes a couple months to get lean like that. From this look right here to that look takes some time. It can be done, as she's done it, as many of us have done it, when you have the correct principles in place, and you have to be very disciplined, but it can be done. Right? It's not buying this. I'm not buying that that's Britney Spears. Right? So again, look at that waistline. All right. So the investigation continues. Let's look at the next one. All right, so here's the latest one, I guess is released today or yesterday, I don't know. And she's dancing around. This is the one where she's in, her bralette and her little lingerie bottoms. So watch her dancing around. All right, so we're seeing, almost looks like the face was superimposed. I don't know. In some spots. Now, I'm not a CGI expert. I don't know if that's possible to do it like this. I would imagine it, because I've seen some pretty wild, crazy CGI, especially in movies. So she even talks, speaking of which, she even talks about this. So people even brought up that, hey, so the reason why I do all this, because this is deep state bullshit, guys. They're trying to control this woman and use her and make money off her. This is what they do. All right. They're in the slave trade. They're in human trafficking, and they're trafficking Britney Spears, right in front of our face. All right. So let's see what some people said. Several of the artist's fans pondered. See how they say this? They have to say that in some of these posts, because even in the news industry, they would get taken down. So several of the artist's fans pondered that neither post was authored by Spears, who gave a 23-minute testimony last month in an effort to end her years-long conservatorship, which she described as abusive. That was definitely her. But just recently, we have that come out. So it would be awesome if she managed her own account, commented one fan of her lingerie pic, with another adding, these posts can't really be her after listening to her powerful testimony. So she's really coming in and saying that she's ready to, 39 years old, I'm ready to have my own life. So she later took to Instagram to shut down naysayers in a tone far more aggressive than the bubbly one that usually populates her Instagram account. And she came in to say that many fans were confused since her neck tattoo was seriously missing. So she came in very, very heavy. This is what the deep state does. You don't question. Otherwise, you get smacked down. Okay, so I edited out my tattoo on my neck. They're like, oops, forgot about that. How do we overcome this? And they came back and they're like, okay, so I edited out my tattoo on my neck because I wanted to see what it would look like clean. And yeah, I like it better. So while you guys are talking behind my back, go ahead and kiss my ass, haters. Okay. Yeah, so let's they're twirling around. Let me see if I can get this bigger. Go big. Why won't it go big? Come on. See if I can catch that tattoo. She's got a tattoo in her lower back. Dang it. Now that's going to be in the way. Come on. All right. So anyway, there is a tattoo that's on her. Let's see if I can get all the way to the beginning. Maybe it'll just stop there. All right. You're starting to see a little bit of it. Okay, look in the front. There's no tattoos in the front, right? Remember those tattoos I talked about? They're at the bikini line in the front. Those aren't there. And there's this mysterious tattoo in the lower back end, right? That wasn't there in the other picture with the nude back, right? And supposedly, which I don't see it here because I tried to see what's that neck tattoo when she's twirling around. I don't see any tattoo back there, and I don't see that mole. So there's some problems here. there's like we photoshopped those out, or we photoshopped that in, or yeah, she was. So look at her hair, not looking lean, and actually looks a little chunkier actually than she did 2 weeks ago. So what happened? She leaned down, in 2 weeks to a level it would probably have taken months. And then the next day, while she's dancing here, she's not lean again. So she's just not adding up, guys. Now, what would be interesting if she goes into this conservatorship, meeting, because she's being very quiet about this. You would think that why don't she come out and say, hey, that's not me, if that's not her? Because she has that information, and if they bring it up in the conservatorship, she's going to blow them out of the water with it. That'd be cool, right? So you deep staters are watching. I know you guys aren't very clever. It's obvious because I've hammered you idiots before. And I'm hammering you right now. But, if you're watching, might want to be a little careful how you like bring that up. Maybe you just don't bring it up. And then what happens? Then Brittany wins. Brittany wins her conservatorship because the little ruse that you guys are trying to put out there blows up in your face. I'm blowing it up in your face right now. And it's because that it's not going to work. Or if you try to bring it up, then you get made to look even worse. You really get exposed. And then once she gets her money and you don't get any more, is she going to have a suicidal event? Somebody needs to protect her if she wins. I'm just saying. All right. Mounting evidence shows. Okay, I already had that. So we already covered that. So I'm doing good. I'm covering all of my bases. So I talked about how Conor McGregor had broken his leg. So I have a little video that actually brings it up a little bit, brings it out. So the reason why I bring this up is because McGregor had a little period where he's working with a high-level guy, and he basically became a loving guy, like I talk about, and became very effective warrior. And then he became an angry guy again. Now, when I look at him, when I go look at him, I see he's got some bad, he's got a baddie on him, right? I'm going to come right out and say it, but some of you guys that follow my work know what I'm talking about. So he's sporting a baddie, right? And I think he feels like he gets a lot of he gets all enraged and gets powerful and he intimidates people. He feels like he gets a lot of power from that, right? And I don't think that. I don't think he's getting that. So he has a little interview while he's sitting there with Joe Rogan, right? So Joe Rogan right here, and I have the Rogan microphone here. Rogan, thank you very much. Thanks, Joe. Call me on your show. We'll talk about some stuff soon. So Joe basically gets down here when he's down and starts talking about it. You know, that's what we do. But then you have this other guy, John Kavanaugh. He's slamming Joe Rogan. Why? Because you didn't get that, that shot to get that for interviewing Conor McGregor after breaking his leg. He's talked to him many times. I wouldn't say they're buds, but he's talked to him many times. Why wouldn't he get down and what are you feeling right now? Former champ. I don't know. So it's I don't see the problem with that. Why we'd have a problem with that? It's interesting to me. Okay, so this is where it goes down, guys. I'm going to show it. So this is from Joe Rogan. He actually has the video on it. So I was like, not going to share this because it's too funky. Might get shut down. But it's not too bad from this angle. So I think it's going to live. So let's watch him, and I'll point out where he gets to break. All right, so he gets pushed back. So we're going slow-mo here. So he comes up with this kick. And he gets an elbow. So it gets stopped out by an elbow. Right there. Right? Right. So that forearm, I used to use that forearm. Man, I could hammer. I could break bones with my forearm. And did. So it's very, very effective. It can be built up. And mine was very hard. Probably not as hard as it used to be because I'm not hammering it into bones anymore. So, but if you're fighting, if you're a UFC challenger, you're hammering your bones, you're hammering your body. Somebody else is hammering your body. You're impacting everything. Everything's getting hard and tight. All right. So right here, where he basically traps that foot with that forearm elbow, with the ulna. So the ulna bone right here, basically is very, it's like a pipe, right? If I don't recommend you use it unless you build it up, but it can be very effective, and it was very effective here. So I think he basically broke it right there. Boom, right there is what happened. So it even looks kind of a little funky when it goes back to me. So he's stepping on it, and he's like, it kind of like didn't, if you're looking at it right here, it doesn't quite look right. So putting a little pressure on it right there. And now he's stepping forward with his punch, another punch, and he steps back, and there he goes, right? Bloop, bloop. Oh, wow, that sucks, right? So now he's going to get saved by the bell here. Boom, 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 and then the bell goes, all right, and he doesn't get up. So that's where it happened. It's not a big deal. See that. So why is it that his opponent was so effective? Because he's fighting out of love, right? He's fighting out of love. So basically, Connor was talking some very nasty stuff, right? Very nasty, talking about his wife. Ooh, talking about his wife. So why do we in the military fight like we do so hard? Because we're protecting our families, right? So Conor McGregor, and nothing against Irish, but he came into talking shit to American, and talk about an American's wife. Cross that line, right? So now you got the love vibration involved, and when you're a warrior and you fight with love, look out evil, look out demons. All right. So one last thing that I'll pull up and talk about. New angle shows Conor McGregor's trash talk to Dustin Poirier after a broken leg. If in your sleep, you're getting it. So this sounds like a demon to me talking. All right. So it goes in the build up to the fight. McGregor's trash talk ramped up from its normal levels and included words about taking Poirier's life, and it appeared to be a little more harsh than the fairly standard hyperbole of trying to kill each other in the cage. It also included suggestions that Poirier's wife, Jolie, tried to reach out to McGregor through a direct message online. Poirier said after the fight that McGregor's death threat type words continued even while medical personnel were attending to his broken leg, and a new angle released online might just back that up. So right here, out of context MMA, new alternate angle. So here he is. He's down on the ground, and I guess he's talking. Let's see what it says. We can hear it. All right, I don't know. Maybe a poor loser. I don't know. So he goes on to say, in your sleep, you're getting it. In your sleep, you're dead. You and your missus, it ain't over. Sounds really demonic to me. So, and that's what I get, unfortunately. So that's sad. You know, it's sad to see that. But you guys see the love vibration is very, very, very powerful. And it's going to stop out, the bad stuff. So it says Connor's a bully, poor sport, an over actor. You can go too far. Yeah, he definitely went too far, Robert. And yes, thanks everyone for coming in. I'm gonna go through the chat just a tad. Looks like you guys chatted up pretty good here. I appreciate that. Had close to 4,000 watching, so sweet. I know I don't schedule these guys. because my life is not scheduled. I'm very, very free. Very, I look at stuff. I'm like, because I wanted to share something like this morning, and I was like, I'm gonna save it. So sometimes I'll just jump on this and share stuff. But I think being like, having the freedom to like come in. I know a lot of you guys, because when I share at different times, more people get to look at it, because I get people all over the world that look at these, and by doing it different time frames, people get to see it live and different. I do it at different times. People in different time frames get to see it, so it's good. You can't forgive eating fresh and having blood. Quite sure what that was. Dean Thorpe. I think someone is trying to highlight how much people obsess over stupid stuff, but don't really look at the person. Frank Jose, 38 bottles of beer on the wall, 37 bottles of beer. That's right, Garth. Let's have some fun in here. There was a bar. There was Danny's Bar, and it's in Coronado. So a lot of SEALs go to that, and still go to that. When I was there, and Frank Jose, 39 is a new 38. What do you mean? She's 39 and oh yeah, that's funny. 39 is a new, she looks like she's in her 20s. She's done a good job. Laura, cleaning up the swamp is for the swamp's benefit. Draining it is for the outside's benefit. That's right. Maybe distraction is exactly that. See how they've been cloning. Yes. I think all that stuff's coming out. Luciferian agenda. It's not her. Yeah, I don't think that was her. So, but I hope she breaks free and gets the ability to do her thing, and make her money, and do with it, as she wants to. So hopefully that happens for a lot of artists going forward, especially those artists in Cuba. All right. So we can see how these controls really affect people, and look at our own Britney Spears. Probably would be in the hundreds of millions, not a billionaire by now, if it had been basically raped from her. So and she probably would have done a lot more if she'd had the ability to have that. So totally a body double. Brittany is a clone, bud. I updated you. Other questions, just ask. Okay, Carl, thank you. Thank you, Carl. I'm sorry I'm not keeping up. I don't know when you updated me, but that's good. Never liked Mariah Carey. My gut says no. Clown, Mariah. Okay. She's going to have neck problems. Oh, the way she was like swinging her neck around. I've had people try to break my neck. We take it right to that point. You can build up any area of your body. So very small waist, nice curves. Maybe she took the Jabberdewy, some McDonald's in there, probably, possibly. Yeah. We all, have the things. I don't know. I don't think she's a McDonald's. I don't think she's a McD's type. She probably eats really well. when you have that kind of money, you can eat the good stuff. I don't think she's going to McDonald's, but maybe she's got some burgers in there. But yeah, she's doing a good job. She always looks good for concerts. So she leans down and puts on a great show. The little stuff I've seen, I'm not a big fan. All right. So look up rabbit hole on Google Maps and look at places. All right. Daryl. Gladiators on YouTube. Look it up. Fastfoot Wallace. Yeah, definitely. Definitely Fastfoot Wallace. Definitely. Thanks for being here, everyone. Thank you, Feminine. One of our moderators, guys. Karma. Yeah. And yes, and thanks, Hebe, for another moderator. Hebe's daughter. And Mike, I need your help for kid traffic matter. I'm 90 miles from you. Pam Z. Brittany is gone, girl. No one home. Mind control, totally possible. Um, I think she's gonna break free though. I think she's good. We'll see. Let's send them love bubbles. That's right. Let's send them all love bubbles. Everyone that's having problems, send them love bubbles. It makes a difference. And how would you guys like a love bowl? Let me jump up and get a love bowl, right? So we'll go get the love bowl. The love bowl. So we'll get out of my little spot without messing everything up. Here we go. So let me take it off the Joe Rogan microphone because it doesn't do well with the love bowl. All right, so I'm on my computer microphone. Let's do the love bowl. So let's focus on the deep state going down. All right, taking a nice deep breath. Any tension you have in your body. On the exhale, let it go. Now let it go. Now let's take in another deep breath. As you take it in, any tension you still have in your body, you're going to let it go on the exhale. Now let it go. Oh yeah, pink cranes. Lovely. I have cranes like right across the street in another neighbor's yard every morning. Seen those people put those plastic cranes in the yards. I got the people across the street have live ones. It's nice. All right, imagine a golden ball of light surrounding you. This light is healing and protective. It penetrates all the way down to the core of your body. All the atoms that are in your body. Penetrates all the atomic structure all the way down to electrons and neutrons, to the core of the atom. And all the space in between. Love, golden energy coming from creator source. You can tap this whenever you want it. It's always there. It's always available. Now imagine golden light going out from your body. Still surrounding that golden light. Golden light going out from your body, surrounding the world. So I know a lot of you are all over the world. You're going to hear this, different times. You can always go send that golden light energy out. It always has an effect. You can just think about it throughout your day. Golden light energy going out. Taking down deep state actors all over the world. Now, at one time I thought there maybe here in the US, there were like hundreds of thousands. And someone told me that there was like 10 million. Yeah, the spa's not that big. So I don't know where they're all going. But think about it. Think about how every system is corrupted. Think about all those demon rats that left Texas and flew to DC. All those demon rats that were supposed to vote on election reform. And the governor of Texas said that when they come back, they're going to be arrested as an arrest warrant out for them. So when they come back, they're going to be arrested. They're going to be taken to the Capitol, where they're going to have to stay at the Capitol until they vote. Demon rats. So that beautiful golden light is going around the world, and it's affecting all of the people that are part of the deep state, right? Some are there by choice. Some are there by force. And some are there because they don't know why they're there. They don't realize they're working for the deep state. So all of these people are being inputted with our golden light. It's helping to bring them to a better form of consciousness. Now, some of these people that are involved will never be able to be released from prison once they go. Some of them might not last in prison very long. And I think that's already been happening. You know what I mean? And some of them will spend a long time there. I think there's lots of places throughout the world where some of these people are going already. And we've heard from Gene Deco that there's even a place on the moon where some of them are going. So you might be wondering why that would be. Why would they go to the moon to be imprisoned? And that's because they're so evil, they cannot have a connection with anyone here on Earth anymore. Totally understand. Totally understand. All right. Now bring in your consciousness back to your body. Feeling that love, energy. Being grateful for this time that we've had together, this meditation we've had together. Open your eyes when you're ready. Lots of love out there. Stay in that love vibration, and I will see you guys next time.